Good morning, everyone. We welcome you for a special lecture on data visualization using Stata. Let me just introduce you to our special faculty for today's session. She is none other than Miss Nikita Jain. Let me just give a quick introduction to all of you. Miss Nikita Jain is presently working as an assistant professor with Maharaja Agrasen Institute of Management Studies. She has over 5 years of teaching experience and 7 years of research experience in microeconomics, game theory, and economic growth. She is also an assistant editor of MAIMS Economic Journal. She has published papers in reputed journals and have been a resource person in skill enhancement courses. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here on board with us. We are really delighted to have you here. Over to you, ma'am.
So today you all have gathered here to learn about Stata, to learn about how to operate Stata, how to work with Stata, and I'll show you how you can analyze, how you can regress data, and how you can have the different beautiful graphs, how you can visualize your entire data basically. Okay, so before beginning with the entire software as it is, let me just give you a little brief about what is Stata. As you can see, its full form is South Texas Art Therapy Association. So basically, according to different researchers, if you have to define a Stata in a proper form, so it is a complete integrated statistical software package, which actually provides you with everything you need. Be it if you want to analyze your data, that is, if you want to do data analysis, if you want to manage your data, or if you want to present it in some graphical format. So if you want to perform some kind of graphics on your data, so Stata actually helps you in that. Then another good thing about this data is that it is good for even if your data sets are quite large. Some software does not support quite large data sets, but Stata is one of the software which can even support even the very large data set. And it is very fast software, that is whenever you put in your command, the results come out very soon. It doesn't take a lot of time to generate the results which are generated are quite accurate, and also it is very easy to use. Like if I just give you my personal experience about Stata is, so like I have worked on like lot of softwares. I worked on SPSS a lot, I worked on R a lot, I worked on eViews also a lot. So these softwares are also quite good along with Stata. The only problem is these softwares are little complicated and little difficult to learn and to get comfortable with it. And once you stop working on these softwares, so it is again difficult to like again get comfortable with it. So like I worked on these softwares, all these four softwares for around 4 to 5 years on a regular basis. So sometimes I used to do my data analysis using Stata. Sometimes, like because I was in masters and MPhil, so like my teachers used to have the questions in which they were required and they were asking us to perform the entire analysis on a particular software so that we can learn all the softwares at same pace. So we were doing that and we got very comfortable with these softwares. Then in my thesis, in my PhD thesis, I moved to the theoretical framework and I stopped working on this data analysis. So I had a gap of around 2 to 3 years when I didn't work on any of these softwares. Then when I was regaining back to the data analysis thing, so it was taking me a lot of time to get comfortable with actually R itself, because I was not in touch with R software at all in the past 3 years. But for the Stata, when I went and when I opened up the Stata, so it took me a day, and for a day I just spent around 5 to 6 hours on this softwares. I searched various things, and I became very comfortable with it, and I could work on it the way I used to work it when I was practicing Stata, when my teachers taught me Stata. So this is the best thing about Stata because it is very user friendly. It is like working on a Microsoft Office kind of things, because lot of things are available on it. And as it is written, it is both command driven and menu driven. So you don't need to remember your commands. If you don't want to write the commands in Stata, you can directly go to the toolbar. You can directly go to different tabs and do the data analysis in the way you want to do it. So I think that is one of the best part about Stata, that you don't need to remember the command. And even if you don't even want to go with the menu driven thing and you want to write the command, so commands are also quite easy to remember. They are just the basic thing that we want to, whatever we are doing it, we are just writing it. It's just like that. So we are not using some different coding things to work or to get the analysis or the results in the Stata. The only problem with this Stata software is that it is not a freely open software package. It is something which you cannot, on which you cannot get an access freely. You have to have access through your institutions, and it is a little expensive also. So your institution has to buy it according to what, how many users, for how many users they want to buy it, and then they can provide you some kind of access. I was blessed in this way that I could get access in all of my institutions from where I have completed my studies. So that's why I could work on Stata from my master's time on itself. Another good thing about Stata is that it can generate a publication quality distinctly styled results. I'll show you how you can beautify your graph even if you don't want to beautify it. The graph itself generated by Stata is quite beautiful, and you have, like, you can save it in a PDF format, you can save it in a Word document in the same format, you can save it in a picture format. So you have lot of options available, and you can have the results in a very beautiful way. Not only the graphs, but you can have the tables also in a very beautiful way in your results. So you can simply just do the analysis in Stata and just save it and represent it and present it in your thesis, in your research papers, and it will be done. So that is one of like, these are few of the very good things about Stata which makes it user friendly, and which actually makes me to work more on Stata as compared to all other softwares. Before moving to Stata, there are few things we need to learn, which Stata expects everyone who works on it knows it quite properly. So according to Stata, there are actually three kinds of variables. One is the numeric variable, as you can see. Then is the string variables, and lastly there are the missing variables. So numeric variables, by name itself, I think you people can guess. Numeric variables basically means any kind of variables which are in some quantitative terms, which you can represent in number form. So it can be anything. It can be your age, it can be your height. If I am talking about some product, so it can be the length of that product, it can be the breadth of that product, dimensions of that product, you can say, it can be the weight, it can be the area, or anything which you can measure. In economic terms, if we talk about, it can be GDP of any country, it can be prices, different prices, current prices, constant prices, demand of any product, productions of any product, how much product is being produced, manufacturing amount. So all these things will come up in the numeric variables. And Stata represents all the numeric variables with black color. So you see, when we will put the data into Stata, so all the black variables represented, they are the numeric variables. Then comes the string variables. String variables are those variables which are little difficult to obviously work with when you are doing the data analysis. Why? Because they are qualitative variables. That is the variables which does not have meaning in the numeric form. That means maybe your gender. So I can represent the gender, say I'm dividing the entire population in two gender, male and female. So I can represent it male, I can denote it by number one, and female as by number two. But that one itself has no meaning in this entire thing. I can make it that one means male, but still it's a qualitative variable. Similarly, the race, similarly, the religion, or maybe the country. If I am collecting data for different countries, so all the country names are actually the string variables. So anything which is qualitative in character, or wherever you have used the letters, the moment you use letters in your data analysis or in your entire data set, that will be considered as a string variable by Stata. And Stata represents it by red color. Why it represents it by red color? Because Stata does not work with string variables. Stata does not understand string variables. According to Stata only understand the numeric variables. So you have to convert your string variables into the numeric variables, like the way I just told you. So if there is a gender of male and female, so you will have to give numbers to it. You have to denote that male is 1 and female is 2. If you have given different countries, so you have to give numbers to those countries. So if there is, say, US, you can give it number 1, then India number 2, then next country. So like this, you have to give denote numbers, and then you can have explanations and you can label them that this particular number implies this particular country. But this data itself will not convert it. We will have to give the command to convert the string variables into the numeric variables. And then lastly is the missing variables. If you have worked with data analysis, if people have worked on large data sets, so you all must have faced the problem of these missing values. You must have done different methods to interpret or to predict these missing values also. So these missing values are Stata just leave it blank. There is a blank box which is left. But if there is a missing value in the numeric variable, then Stata puts a dot in that blank. So there is a dot like this, which is put in there, which denotes that this value is missing. From wherever I have taken the data, according to that data, this particular value is missing. And if it is a string variable, that means say there are country names, and for a particular box, the country name is empty. There is no country name written there. So in that box, what the Stata will do to differentiate it from the numeric missing value, it will put the double inverted commas, two double inverted commas basically. It will put it like this, which shows that your string variable is missing. And again, it will be from with a red color. So this is how Stata differentiates between the numeric and string variables, and it does not predict some missing values on its own. We can use the methods, different econometric methods that you must have studied to predict those missing variables, and we can use those methods within Stata itself. Okay. Another thing is that when you are putting the data in Stata, so there are few things that you need to keep in mind. Like you have to prepare a data according to Stata software itself, according to Stata, which Stata can read it perfectly. So first of all, first condition is the variable name should have maximum of 32 characters. And I think by default, we don't have variable like such long variable names which have more than 32 characters. We generally don't go with such long names. But if you have a habit of going with such long names where you like, they not like you in the name itself, you take tells each and everything. So maybe like GDP of country India or GDP of country A in the year 1981 with the base year. So if you want to write it such a long name, so that will not be accepted by Stata. Stata will only accept the name which will have maximum of 32 characters, and it will not accept any name which have more than 32 characters. Just sorry. Yeah. So the next is Stata prefer to have shorter names, obviously, and to also have the names in the lower case and not in the uppercase. Because Stata is more habitual of working with the lowercase. The problem is actually the Stata differentiates between the uppercase and lowercase. It is not like it will not read the uppercase letter, but according to Stata, this age where the A is capital is not equal to this age where A is small. So the problem with uppercase is if you use your variable name and use first like whatever name you are taking, say age only if it's the variable name, and you write it like A capital and then G. So whenever by writing commands, you have to insert the variable. So you have to ensure that you have to insert the variable in this form itself. That is, you have to again and again write capital A and then G. So it becomes little difficult for everyone who works a lot on Stata, because when you are doing the analysis, you are mostly short of time and you want to do the analysis quite quickly. So to make sure or to have the results quickly, it's better to go with the lowercase letters only and not with the uppercase letters. Otherwise, you will have to specify everywhere wherever you are using uppercase letters, and you have to again and again write that uppercase letter every time. Okay. And the last thing is, which is a very important thing, is space. Stata does not allow you to have spaces. So if I want to write say GDP and India, okay, depicting it, I want a variable name as GDP India, GDP space India, depicting it that this particular column represents GDP of the country India. So Stata will not accept it. Stata will not accept that data because according to Stata, no spaces are allowed. You can use a underscore to denote a space. That is, you can write GDP underscore India. That will be accepted by Stata. Okay. Another thing is different versions of Stata have different things. So every time Stata gets updated, so there are some kind of updations. So in the previous Stata versions and even the version which I use, that is the Stata 12, they does not allow. So if my data have spaces, if I'm importing it from Excel, and in that Excel the variable names have the spaces, so Stata will not take that data as it is. Stata will say that there are some problems in the data and it will not import it. But in the higher versions, in the updated versions, mostly the Stata 14, what the Stata is doing, it is accepting the variable's name as it is, even with the spaces. But to fulfill or to fill those spaces, it is adding some symbols on its own. So basically, your variable name gets changed. So if you have taken your variable name as GDP space India, so when you will be inputting it into Stata, your variable name will get changed. So it again becomes a problem for you. So it's always better to not use space, not even better, but you should always follow this, that you should not use space, because sometimes when Stata has some symbols on its own to fulfill or to fill that space, then while doing the analysis, some problems might occur. So your results might not be that accurate. There might be some kind of issues which you might face later on. So you'll have to do your entire analysis again. So you should not go with the space, and you should remove all the spaces between the variable names. You can use underscore, and again that underscore will be considered as one of the character. So that will be considered as one character. So you have to ensure that you don't use lot of underscore also, and you should not have lot of things within your variable name. Okay, so now this is the Stata interface. This is how your Stata looks. Even if you have some updated versions, if you have access to the updated version, so it will look quite similar. There is not much change. The things that might change. Maybe that they have done this background white into black. So instead of this white background, you might be seeing the black background, but you will have these different windows itself. So overall, like on a very brief note, this will be how the Stata will look. As you can see on the top, it shows you which version of Stata I am using, which edition of Stata I am using. So it is showing that it is 12.0. Here also it is showing this, and all this information is like about Stata software itself, that from where I have licensed it, what is the serial number of this Stata software, what are all these copyright issues and everything. So you'll get all these things whenever you'll open up the Stata. So you can see there are so many windows in this Stata software. Okay, so let me just tell you very briefly what are these windows, and then we'll go live on the Stata itself. So this window, as you can see, this is quite similar to what you have seen in your Microsoft Office, be it Microsoft Word, be it Microsoft Excel, be it Microsoft PowerPoint. You have these kind of windows where it is start with file, then there is some edit, and then there is some window and help, these kind of data, these kind of tabs. And these are the different tabs which are used by Stata. So this toolbar helps you to perform the analysis by the menu driven, by just clicking on these tabs and pointing it to a particular, pointing your results into a particular direction. So whenever you don't want to write a command, you can simply go to these tabs, you can search whatever you want to do it, and then you can do it. So basically this data will tell you about different features of data. So if you have to do something on data, this data will tell you. Graphics will give you different kinds of graphs of options of graphs. So whenever you want to make a graph, you go to this graphics. And then statistics basically tells you when you have to perform any kind of statistical operation on your data, so you have to go on this statistics. This is how like they have divided these three tabs, but you can again, like when you'll visit again and again, you'll able to get from where you'll get some wherever. Then next is this big window is the result window. It is the main window of Stata. What you can do is what is shown in this result window is everything. So whenever you write a command, so that command will come up then in this result window. According to that command, whatever operation or whatever output Stata has to provide you, that output will also be in this result window. So everything which you do it on Stata will be in this result window. Even if you do it something from this toolbar, so according to this, that whatever you have performed, according to that, a command will automatically be generated in this result window. and whatever you have performed, accordingly the output will also be generated in the result window. The only thing which does not come in this result window are your graphs. For whenever you make a graph, so a new window will pop up, and then that new window will contain the graph. So only the graphs are not there in the result window, but besides graph, everything else comes in this result window itself. Then next is this command window. So here you just write in your commands, whatever command you write it, you just write your command and just click enter. Once you click enter, this again becomes blank and that command comes up in this result window. And you can adjust all these windows. You can make result window little more like long or increase its height. Similarly, you can also change the height or length of command window or anything. So in whatever way you want to have it, like normally if you open up this data, so your command window will actually be much smaller than this. But I don't like feel good with this small command window. So I have just extended it upwards so that I can have a little big command window. So you can adjust these windows on your own. Then this is the review window. As you can see, it is written over here also. This is the review window. Now what has been done when you put in your command here and you click enter, so a command will open up, command will get into this result window and a result will come up along with it. But what about if you have to see your commands? So you will have to go, like if you have to see what were your previous commands, yeah, maybe after before 10 commands, usse pehle kya command tha, something of that sort. So what you will have to do, you have to again like go up and up in this result window to search your command. So this review window helps you to not search through the result window, because every command you put in this command window will come up here. Even if whatever you perform from this toolbar, I told you whatever you perform, accordingly a command will be generated in this result window. That command will also be stored in this review window. So basically at the end of your analysis, you will have a list of all your commands which will be shown in this review window. And this review window is very helpful. Why? Because in this window, whatever command, sometimes we have to do the regression, say again and again in different variables. So we can just simply click on the command here, do double click on it, and that command will reappear here. And you can then edit it. Sometimes you have to do run the same command again and again after some analysis. So instead of writing the entire command, you can again click on any command which you want to repeat it. Do double click that command, and that command will appear here, and then click enter. So this review window will become very useful. And I'll also show you how you can save this review window for your future. So then you can have your whole list of commands at one go itself. Then this is the variable window. So this variable window will be empty if there is no data. As you can see in this, when I've taken the screenshot of this interface, so I have not put any kind of data in this interface. But if I would have put in some data, then it would have shown some kind of variables here. So it shows the variable names here, and it shows whatever label I have given to them. Label means what the way I want to explain my whatever variable I've written. So the explanation of that variable. So say I have written variable name as GDP, and in the label I write it as a gross domestic product. So something of that sort. So you can change the label and everything. And these are the properties where you can change some things of variable. I'll show you. This is not of much use. You don't use it much in your data analysis. But still I'll show you what all you can do. From here actually you can change your name. You can change the name of variable. You can change the label of variable. You can also change the decimal range of the variable, and lot of things you can do it from here. So let me just take you to the actual data. Yes, I think you all can see the data. So as you can see, I can adjust the windows whatever way you want to adjust it. If you want to have such a long command window, you can have that. If you want to reduce it, generally we need a longer result window because we need to see the results, and we always prefer to have results at one go itself. So we generally have the result window in this way itself, and we have command window in just the way so that we can just write it. Okay. Now, one more thing before, obviously, whenever you have to work on any software, so you have to, the first thing that you have to do is you have to put in the data, right? But before putting into data, I just also tell you one more thing about Stata. That is, Stata has a feature of saving everything whatever you are doing. Okay, and how you can do it? You can save these commands separately. You can save this result window separately, and whatever data you will put and whatever final data you will get, that you can also save it separately. But what about if I have to save everything together? So it calls it as a log file, log file. And how can we create that log file is you just go to this file option. You see here it is log, and you want to begin your log file. That is, you want to begin working on Stata. If you want to close it, so you close it. If you want to do something into your analysis and but you don't want it to be get saved, maybe you have to share your log file to your professor or to your supervisor in your PhD supervisor maybe, but you are just trying on something and you don't want that to be shown in the log file when you are sharing it. So you can suspend the log file. And when you suspend it, so your log file will stop. So whatever operations you'll do, whatever commands you'll put in, that will not be part of that log file. And when you think that now whatever you want to do needs to be part of log file, you can come up to this resume. So it gives you a lot of these options. So let me just click on this log begin. So see, it is asking me where I want to save this log file. Okay. And it is asking me to give a name to this log file. So say I am giving the name as Stata1. Okay. And you can also see it is in the form of .smcl. So this is the extension of the log file, which can only open up. You can also have it in the extension of .log. It all depends, like in which format you need it or in which format you have your supervisor has asked you to submit it. Because .smcl will only open up with Stata, and .log sometimes also open up with Word. It also depends which edition of Word, Microsoft Word you have and which edition of Stata you are working on. So it all depends on those things. I'll also show you another way of not using this log file, but in another way in which you can actually have everything with you. Okay. So because I actually don't like using this log file, it is little difficult and sometimes it doesn't get open up in some some laptops or some systems. So even if you like, it is something on which you cannot trust. I have faced this problem. I saved the log file. I didn't save anything else. But when I mailed it to my professor, so they were not able to open it. So maybe it was because of we have different editions of Stata or whatever. I don't know what was the problem there. I couldn't find it out. But it sometimes creates a problem. So it is not that safer option, but still we can work on it. So let me just save it here. So you can see it is showing it in the result window what we have done. So if you have to go with the command, if you don't, this is the way I have done it, the menu driven. मैंने menu driven की तरह किया. I have just pointed out something, I have gone to a tab and I have performed the operation. But I can also do this. I could have also done this using a command, and this is the command. I could have written log using wherever I want to save it. This is the entire path where I want to save it. It is on the desktop, which is obviously on the C drive. So on the C drive, this is showing the entire thing that where I am saving. So you could have also done it. You could have done log using and you could have mentioned the entire part where you want to save it. Plus at the end, you should have also written in what format you want to save it. So if you want to save it in SMCL, so you write the name of your file .smcl, or if you wanted to have saved in log, so you would have written .log. Okay, so whatever way, so that I will show you how we can do it by going on these tabs, and when we will do it is on tabs, the commands will automatically be generated and it will be the same thing. It will not be any different. So say if I am using this command, it will not do it again, I guess. Yeah. See, I have again used the same command. I have done the control C. I have copied these command and wrote it here. So it is saying log file is already open. Why? Because my log file already open. So it will not open the log file again, right? So that's why I was saying. But I'll also show you if I just write the command, so the results will always be the same. So this is always preferably go with this. You even if you don't want to share the log file, or even if you don't share the log file at the end, but still go with this only, that you begin your Stata operations by opening up the log file. Even when you are importing the data, you should open up the log file before putting the data into Stata. Before doing anything, the first thing that you should do on Stata is to open a log file, is to begin the log file. Okay, if it will not be sure, at least it will be useful to you. That is the only thing. Okay, now I'll show you how you can put in the data into this Stata, and there are different ways of doing it. There is not a one way or two way. There are actually 4 ways in which you can import the data into Stata. So if you have seen, if you see, these are small symbols which are being made, and if you just stop it somewhere, so it is telling you what does this symbol mean. It is telling you it is variable manager, and as you can see, this symbol is telling you data editor edit, and the symbol along with this is telling you data editor browse. It is same, both of them are same. The only difference is here it is written edit and here it is written browse. So basically when you will open up this, you can only browse it. Okay, but when you will open up this, you can edit the data also. You can change whatever you want to change it manually, but if you open up this, you cannot do anything. But for now, if I open up this, you see this is like a Excel file. This is quite similar to your Excel spreadsheet. Okay, and it is empty. Why it is empty for now? Because we don't have any kind of data into Stata. That's why it's empty for now. So you can, like, I'll show you how you can have data into it. So data editor basically gives you the entire data set on which you work in the Stata. Okay, so the very easiest way of getting the data into this is you must have made some kind of data in the Excel. Okay, first of all, I am using the data set which is provided by the Stata itself. You can get this data set very easily. You just search on Google as auto, AUTO. It is the data of different automobiles basically. So you search on Google as auto data set provided by Stata, something of that sort. So when you purchase your software Stata, so along with that they provide you a big manual, like a PDF of a big manual. It's of like lot of pages where it is described and where it tells you how to work with Stata, how to start with Stata, and lot of operations, what are the commands and everything. Besides that, they also provide you this data set. That means a data set on which you can practice. So their entire manual is based on this data set itself. And the reason I am also working on this data set is because if you want to practice it after this lecture, so you can use the same data set and practice it so that you'll get the similar results. So what you can do is, as you can again see, in all the variable names, there are no spaces and all are in lowercase, right? And here they wanted to give space, so they have used the underscore, right? So let me just, what you do, you just copy the entire data on Excel, whatever data you have, okay? Do Control C, move back to the data editor, click on here, click on this cell and click paste. Now this is very important. They are asking you is the first row data or variable names. तो हमने जब डेटा को कॉपी किया, when we have copied the data, so we have taken the variable names also. So our first row actually consists of the variable name. So if I just do it treat first row as data, so it will then consider all those names as the data. And again, since the variable names contain letters, so it will not get it accessible properly. So your data set will get into Stata, but in a wrong manner. So it is very necessary that if you have copied it using the variable names, so you just click on this. Treat first row as variable names. So you can see your variable names have been on the top, on the highlighted portions, and rest of the variable or rest of the data has just been inserted into here. And as you can again see, this is, since it contains letters, it is a qualitative variable because it is the name of the automobiles which we are referring to, or the maker, manufacturer of the automobiles basically. So that's why this is being shown in red. So it's the string variable. Rest of these things are shown in black since they are the numeric variables. And lastly, this is also shown in the red because it is again a string variable. So this is the point I was telling you, that this is how the data, differentiate between it. Okay. If I just close this data editor, I don't need to save anything. Okay, it is automatically getting saved. I am not clicked on Control plus S and I am not even saved it. If I will be saving it, it will be saving it outside the data, which I'll show you at the end how we can save everything. So for now, I just close down this window. I go back to the data. You can see it is showing you there are 12 variables. There are 74 observations which have been pasted in your data editor. Okay, another thing you can see, it is also showing you all the variable names. Can you see this? It is showing you the variable names. Earlier this was a blank window, but now it is showing you the variable names. Okay, this is one way, and this is a quite easy way to get your data into Stata. But the problem is you can copy the data only when you have a small data. If your data is a very big, containing say 1,000 rows and 3,000 columns, so it will get difficult for you to copy the entire data and paste it in the Stata. So obviously you cannot go with this method when you are having a large data set. You can go with this method when you are having a small data set. So let me show you another way. Obviously, it will not take the data again. So I can use a command. This is a very risky command for Stata, which is clear. CLEAR. Whenever you insert or whenever you write a command clear and click enter, can you see your variable window is empty now? It is again empty. If I go to this data editor, can you see my entire data set has been vanished? So this is a very risky command, and there is no command from where you can just have a control Z option, that is to undo what you have done. There is no control Z thing possible in Stata, so you cannot undo this. So you just write clear very when you are sure that you want to clear your data. So clear means everything, every data, anything which you have put or anything, even if I have generated new variables, so whatever data editor is containing, it will get blank. It will be like a new data for you now. Okay. So let us go to the second option. What you can do is you just go to this file. Okay. You go to this import. Now you can see there are different ways in which you can import your data, right? So let me go to Excel spreadsheet. That means you can directly import your Excel spreadsheet. So if you have a very large data set and it is being prepared in the Excel, so what you can do is you just go import and do the Excel spreadsheet. Now they're asking you which Excel file. Okay. Now there is again a little bit of problem here. One is key in the Stata 12. If you are using the version Stata 12, since it is an old version, so it will not import Excel sheet which is of a new formatted. What you will have to do is you will have to save your Excel sheet. You all must be using the recent Microsoft Office, so it will not import it, and it will not tell you why it is not importing it. So what you can do is you can save this Excel sheet. You go on save as, go to workshop on Stata, and when you are saving this, just change its format to Excel 97 2003 workbook. I have already saved the Excel sheet from in this format. You can see it is showing it here. It is in the format of 97 to 2003 worksheet. So you can do that, and then it can import your Excel. If you are going with a Stata 12, in your Stata 14 version, it will import any kind of Excel sheet. So if the new latest Excel sheet will also be imported. Another thing, if your Excel sheet is open, like if I wanted to import this Excel sheet, and since it is open in my window, then Stata will not import it. So your Excel sheet needs to be closed when you are importing it. But I am importing a different Excel sheet, so it will not create a problem for me. So I'm going to the browse option. It is automatically opening up the directory where my data is. I'm going with this. This is the Excel sheet in 97 2003 document or spreadsheet. As you can see, if I stop it, then also it is giving me the type. So I just do open, and as you can see, it has imported. It has imported my Excel sheet. You can see my Excel sheet here. Now again, it is not asked me whether my first row is a variable or data. So I have to tick on that. You can see the options there. So you can check this option saying that import first row as variable name. So when I've ticked on this option, these variable names have jumped upwards. When it was not there, it was below it. When I'm checking this, then it has come up first. So that means they have now been considered as the name and not the data. I'll click on OK. And if it is imported, again you can see we have different variable names and we have the command also. This is the command which you could have used if you don't wanted to go on the file and import it. But this is the command. You have to simply, since you are importing the data, so you have to write import. What you are importing an Excel sheet. So Excel sheet, you have to write the entire part of your Excel sheet, then comma. If it's not necessary that your Excel sheet should contain only one sheet. You can have different sheets on your same Excel sheet, but you might have to import say fifth sheet and not the first, second, third, fourth sheet. So you can mention the sheet number here. So if there is just one Excel sheet in that particular entire Excel file, so you just write sheet 1. If there is more than one, so whatever sheet you want to import, you can mention the sheet here. And first row, this first row indicates that your first row is the variable name. So you have indicated each and everything in your command. So this is the command of your importing the Excel sheet. Now, one more thing you can see, when you have pasted the data, you were not able to get any kind of labels here. But when you have imported the data, then you have got the labels. So it is better to import it, because pasting is kind of a, I say it's not a good option as such. It is something which we are doing it, some default or some drawback that we have found it from here, but that is not something which have been provided by Stata as such. Okay. So it's better to go with either import or the third method that I will tell you. Similarly, you could have also, so we have done three methods. One is you can simply copy the data on your data editor. Second is you can import it by going on to this file and clicking on import and then import the data. Third is you can use this command. You can write this command as it is and your data will be imported. Now I again do clear. So again, all my variable names are gone, and I'll go with the last and fourth method. Last method is, as I told you, if we open up this data editor and if there would have been some data here, so this save option was active. Okay, and I told you we could save. We have an option to save the entire data which we have generated in this data. So that data is also generated, and sometimes you send that data to different people, to other researchers, so that they can also work on the same data. When you save this data, then it will come up in the extension of .dpa. Let me show you. It will come up like this. You can see it is showing the type as dataset, and if you go to its properties, so it is showing it as a .dpa. So it is saved as a .dpa file, and you can directly open up this file in your Stata, and it is also very easy. It's in this you have to do nothing actually. You just go on this open. You just click on this auto. This is the file that I told you. You just click on open. You see everything, it has directly used it. I don't have to mention which is the first variable or anything. It has already taken the first as the variable name. The reason being, it is the data set which have already been in the Stata. So Stata can read it on its own completely. Other thing also, the person who has worked on this data set in their Stata, they have given the label to each and everything. इससे पहले in the previous data when we imported it through Excel, but we were not getting these labels. We were getting the labels as it is, make, price, MPG and everything. But here we are getting it proper. So whoever worked on this data set, he provided all the labels to this data set. Okay, so that is the good thing. Any additions, any changes which I would have done in the Excel data which we have generated, that, and I've done it in the Stata. So instead of just updating the Excel with the changes that I've done in Stata, I can simply save this data set and that I can transfer it to anyone. So I can show you how we can save it. Let me just do something, otherwise it will ask me to replace that initial data set itself. So we'll just perform some functions and then we can save it. Then I'll show you how to save it. So these are the different methods to do it. And to do this also, there is a command. To use this data set also, there is a command where instead of import Excel, but we are using only use. and you are mentioning the path of this data and comma clear. Why we are writing comma clear? Because it implies, clear implies if there is any kind of data on which you are already working on data, just clear that data and then import that. Okay. So this is the different ways of importing the data, and you can use any of the way which you like it. One more good thing about this data is it tells you in which directory you are working, which sometimes becomes very useful. Sometimes, but you know, I think you people know there is a setting in Google Chrome. It's a default setting that if you download anything from your Google Chrome, so it gets saved automatically in your downloads folder, which is in the C drive. Okay, and if you want to change that option that it asks you every time where you want to save it, then you have to go to that. Then you have to change the settings of Google Chrome and change it to that it will ask you every time. So when it is saving it or as a default in downloads folder, that implies that for Google Chrome is working directory. We call it as a working directory. That working directory is actually a folder in the C drive, which is the downloads folder. Similarly, you can change the working directory, or you can see what is the working directory of your Stata. Okay, generally Stata since Stata have updated and keeps on updating, so Stata have given us the option. It doesn't have a default setting of saving automatically everything to a particular place. It always asks us where we want to save it. So we generally don't get to use this particular command as such, but still you should at least be aware of where it is saving the things, because if by any chance your laptop gets hanged or your system stops working immediately, so you will know where your things would have been saved automatically by Stata. So you can see and you can check it. So what's the command for that is, it is pwd. Its meaning is P means present, W means working, and D means directly. So if I just click enter, so it is telling me my present working directory is this. That where it is saving the things is, it is saving it is in the C drive in a folder of documents. It is saving everything in the document. So if my system hangs, so everything will be saved in the documents section. I can also change this directory. How I can change this directory? You just put in cd, okay, and you just take the path jahan pe wherever you want to change it. So say I want to change it in this folder. I have made this folder of workshop on Stata on the desktop, and I want that everything be saved here. So what you can do, you can just take its path. So they say I'm taking the path from here. So I can just take this path. Instead of writing it exactly, I just do Control C from here, and I just write it down here under the inverted commas. Okay, and you just click enter. So it is showing that your directory have changed to this. Now when I have changed this directory, so what you have done is, for now the command, when I have not changed my directory, so I had to mention the entire path when I was importing my data, right? If supposedly I do clear here and I want to import this data again, now my simple thing is, you can simply write use under the inverted commas auto.dta inverted commas close and clear. So it has again imported the same data. You see, again we have the variables. If I open up the data editor, you see again we have the variables. So this is the benefit of changing directory. Okay, that sometimes you might have different data, different data which you must have saved it in a specific folder, and you might have to do analysis on different data. So for some, so what you can do is, you will always have to mention, if you are like more comfortable with commands, so you will always have to mention this entire path. But once I have mentioned that my directory is still here, so then I don't need to mention the entire path. If I just mention this thing, so it will take it directly from that folder. But if I write something which is not present in that folder, which is not present in this workshop on Stata folder, so it will not import it directly. Then I will again have to write the entire path. But if I am taking the things, if I am importing the things from the same directory which I have mentioned it, Then I can just write the file name and that will be imported. So this is the benefit of changing the directory. Okay. Now, as I told you in data editor browse, let me open up that. Okay, I've already opened up the edit mode. So it is asking me, do you want to change it to browse mode? So I have changed it to browse mode. You can see it is written data editor browse here. So I cannot edit anything. When I'm here, I'm trying to delete something. You must have heard a noise, but it is not letting me to delete anything from anywhere. I cannot do anything. It is just a browser. I can only browse upon it. It's like a window shopping. Okay, you can only see it, but you cannot do anything. So generally, if you just want to see your data and if you are not interested in editing your data, it's preferably go with the editor, go with the browse, data editor browse. The reason being sometimes while doing something or something, we click on something and then we write some numbers. So the data gets changed and you will not realize it. So it's better to go with the browse because then you can use it very not, you don't have to be very clear and not have to be very careful about using it since you know nothing can be changed in this. So let me go to the data editor to show you how you can change it. Say I am changing. I have clicked backspace. It has changed. I again put 3. The value was 3. So it has. This is how I can change it. So I can change any value manually. Like this is the missing value. I told you if there is a missing value in numeric variable, so it will show you a dot sign. So you can see it is showing a dot sign. If you want to input the missing values number on your own, you have calculated in some way. So you can just insert it here or you can calculate it using the data. Now you can also change the name of the variable. You can also change the label of the variable. Like if I want to say change the name of this variable make. Okay, so I click on this make. This thing has become active now for the make. Supposedly I want to change the name from this make to manufacturer. So I have changed it. You can see it has changed. If I supposedly also want to change this label, I feel that this label is not sufficient enough. And what I want to do is I want to add that it is the make and model of automobile. So I have changed the label also. Okay, let me just minimize it and show you what it is showing us in the result window. See, whatever we are doing, it is showing a command along with it. So if you would not have gone to the data editor, you could have directly used these commands to change or rename your variables and to label the variables. So what's the command? I'll make you understand it. When you have to rename your variable, you just write rename. You write the old name. So old name was make. We change it to manufacturer. So what's the command? Rename space old name space new name. Okay. And to label any variable, what we need to do, first of all, you have to write label space variable. Then space, you have to mention which variable you want to label it. Now the name of my variable has changed from make to manufacturer. So I have to write manufacturer now. Then in inverted commas, write whatever label you want to give to that particular variable. So you can do it in any way. Okay. So you have, these are the commands. One more thing, you can change it in data editor, which might be useful for you. So let me go to something which have a decimal. Say let me go to this. You can see it has 2 decimal places right now. Okay, you can change these decimal places also. How? You go again to this window. Okay, there is a column of format. Go to here, and there are 3 dots along with it. Click on these 3 dots. It is opening up a new window. It is showing what is your data type. It is a numeric data type. You have to fix some numeric here. Okay, it's not a general numeric, otherwise it will not decide how many decimals it will take. You have to fix the decimal ranges. So maybe you want for all the variables, it will be fixed to 2 or 3. So it is telling how many digits you wanted for the right of decimal. Say I want 4 digits. So I increase it to 4. Okay, and there are other options also which you can change it. You can have the right justified or left justified. You can have the total digits also changed. So whatever you want to do, you can do that. So then it will round it off. If you change the total number of digits, so it will round it off and give you the answer in that number of digits also. So I just click on OK, and you can see it is giving you the 4 decimal places. Since there was no values in the next two decimal places, so it is showing everywhere the 0, 0. Okay, and you can again change it back because it is not looking good. So let me change it again. I'm going with the 2 digits itself, which has converted it to back. The command for changing this decimal is little tricky, is different. So you can leave this command. If I think it's better you go with changing it manually itself. The reason being, this differs along with the variable. Okay, so you can see that from here, from this format. This is more of a data analytics thing. So I'm not going into details how they have written this and like what does this mean. So you can see it from here itself, and then you can change the decimal. So you can do it in whatever form. So basically it is saying it is a 6.4. So that means after decimal you need 4 decimals, and here after decimal you need 2 decimals. So you can go with that, or you can just change it manually. Okay. So these are the basic things about the data which you could have done. Before moving further to more analysis, there is one thing which I have not told you till now, is which is this do file editor. This is a very important window in this data. What does it do? Does basically, when you get very much comfortable with data, what you do right now, what we are doing, we are writing a command here, we are clicking on enter, and we are getting a result. The reason being, we are kind of beginners in data, so we have to check whether our command is right or wrong. So we have to check it. Or otherwise also what we have to do is we are doing lot of things manually. So we are not even writing commands. But when you become pro in Stata, when the people are very much used to Stata, what they do is, like, it takes some seconds to generate the result, because you have to click enter, then the result will be generated, and you have to again click some command, write some command. What they do, if they are very much comfortable with Stata, they write all their commands here. So like I can write any command, say I am writing the same command, rename, make, manufacturer. So then I can write another command, and I can keep on writing all the commands here. Okay, and then what you can do is, when you have written down all your commands, you go here and you click on execute. I'm not clicking it right now because it will not show it. The reason being, we have already done this command, so it will say we have already this name thing. So it will show a red line here, but you can simply execute it. You simply click on execute, and if you have written even 20 commands, all the commands will be run on one go. Even if you have written 100 commands, all the commands will run at one go. So you don't have to wait for the results one by one. That is the thing of do file editor. Okay. Another good thing about do file editor is you can also have something along with it, right? If I put a star and if I write anything, so say I'm writing, this is the command for renaming variables. Whenever you are writing this star, you can see the color of it has changed. They changed to green. So the moment you write this as star, then it will not, the Stata will not consider it as a command. The Stata will keep it or will generate it as it is. It will not read starting as a command. It will just take it as it is. I'll show you. If I just copy up this and write it in this command, you see nothing has happened. It has shown the exact line as it is. So it is a way of making notes. Okay, like when I begin with Stata, when I started learning Stata, I used to do this because you need to know now what your command means. You will not remember what does PWD means. It's the present working directly, but you need to remember it. So what you can do is you write the command, and below that or above that you write it, you use star and mention it, what does that command mean. Again, then write a command and then explain it, what does that command mean. And you can again save this do file editor with you. You can save this do file editor. You can just simply select all and save it in your Word file also. So you will have access to all your do file. You will have access to all your commands. I'll show you once we are done with this entire data. So we'll just convert every command in the do file editor. We'll save it, and I'll show you how we can run it within a minute. What we have done it one by one, we can just run it together. Okay. So this do file editor is actually a way of saving this review window, which I was talking to you, which I was telling you at the end. What we'll do, we'll just copy all these commands and write it in the do file editor and save it. Or you can just simply write it in the do file editor and start saving it. You can even, instead of writing it in this command window, you can keep on writing the command in do file editor, just any command, and just run that particular command also. It's not necessary that you run entire do file editor again and again. You can just also run it one by one, like one command itself. So it's just like a alternative for command window. It's just in command window you cannot save anything, but in do file editor everything gets to be saved. That is the only difference. So some people are more comfortable going with the do file editor. Some people are more comfortable going with the command. I am more comfortable going with the command, but I use the do file editor at the end to save my commands. I'll show you that. Okay. So for now, let me just remove this and close this, the do file editor. Now next is so next is, let us, what we do is we just have some basic commands first of all. So if you have the entire data, you might be, whenever you introduce your data, you need to describe your data, you need to summarize your data, you need to tell what are the variables, what are their meanings, everything you need to tell. So you can have that even in your result window. What you do, you go to this data, you go to describe data, and there is two options. If you do it in describe data in memory, so it will do it in stata itself. If you do it in describe data in file, so it will generate a new stata file for. So we don't want to do that. I just want to do it itself in this. So you just do describe data in memory. Now it is asking you to write the variables. So you can either describe any 2 or 3 variables which you want, or if you want to describe your entire variable. So there are, like right now we have 24, how many variables it was showing? We have 12 variables. Right now we have 12 variables. So it is difficult for me to write all the 12 variables here. So if I'm leaving this blank, so Stata will take it automatically that I want to describe my data for all the variables which are in the data set. But if you want to, as it is also mentioning, leave empty for all variables. But again, if you want to describe it for some specific variables, you can select it from here one by one. So weight, length. So it is taking it on its own. It is taking the space, so you don't even have to write your variables. You can just select it from here. So for now, let me just remove it. We just have it for all the variables. And you can click on any of the two, OK or submit. Clicking on OK. So you see it has described my variables. It is telling me there are 74 observations. There are 1200 variables. The size is of this much size. The data set is of this much size. It is also telling all the variables. This is telling this is a string variable. The label is this. This is the normal numeric variable, which they call it as int. And similarly, it is telling it for all the variables. But as you can see, this describe is not giving you any information related to mean, median, mode. It is not telling you anything. Okay. And if you like know that mean, median, mode you study in statistics, that is a part of statistics. So that will be in this statistics tab. So you go to this statistics, you go to this summarize tables and tests, and you go to this summary and descriptive statistics and the summary statistics. The first point of all the tabs basically. Okay. Again, it is asking you, you can mention the variables if you want to summarize only 2 or 3 variables, or if you want to leave, like if you leave it empty, so it will summarize it for all the variables. So I am just doing the summarize. So now for each of the variables, it is summarizing it. Like for price, it is giving you the number of observations. It is giving you the mean of that all prices. It is giving you the standard deviation. It is giving you the minimum value of price and the maximum value of price. As you can see, this repair recondition rate, it is showing number of observations to be 69. That means there are 5 observations which must be missing in this particular column. Another thing, if you see, for foreign, which was a string variable, and manufacturer, which was again a string variable, it is showing 0 observations. As I told you, Stata does not work on the string variables. Okay. And I forgot to tell you, for describe, as you can see, a very simple command is there. If you just write describe, so it will describe your data the way we describe it using the tabs. And if you just write summarize, so it will summarize the data. Summarize, for summarize, we have another command, a shorter command, that is just su. So if I do su, it is summarizing the data. It's the same table. So again, you can go through to the tabs, or you can go it through this. Now let me just show you some graphs, or let us just generate some new variable and then we can move to the graphs. Again, we can have, or we can generate some new variables. I think you people must have felt the need of generating log of some values, or maybe lagged values, or sometimes you just have to convert it into different units, anything, or you just have to convert it into percentage terms, anything might be there, and you generally do it in Excel. You change the variables, you generate a new variable in Excel itself, and then you import it in the software. But I'm telling you, I preferably do all the things in Stata, and I then copy the entire data into Excel if I have to submit my things even in Excel, because it takes less time into the Stata to do it, and it takes more time to do it in Excel, according to me, because I am being now comfortable more in Stata. So what is the command, or let me just go to this, show it from here, and then you can see the command. So you go to this data, okay, and just wait, yeah, you go to this data, you go to this create or change data, and then create new variable. Since we have to generate a new variable, it is taking the variable type automatically as float. You can change it to the numeric one also. So I'm changing it to the numeric variable. Say I want to have the log of price. So I am writing it as log of price. See, I am not taking any space. If I would have taken a space between them, it would not have considered it. Okay. So let me just have it log underscore price to be more specific. Then they are asking me what expression that variable is. I'm generating a variable, but in that variable, what information or what values will be there. So that needs to have some kind of expression. So you can create it from here. Click on create. They are giving you so many options which you can explore it, like taking out time, and you can explore it a lot. I want to have a log function. So obviously that will be in a function form, and it's a mathematical thing. So it must be in a mathematical thing. I just find it, search it here if I may find it. Yeah, it is giving me the option. It is giving me both the options. And if you click on any of this, it tells you what that particular thing tells you. So when I'm clicking on ln, so it is telling me it is the natural logarithm. If I'm clicking on log, it is again telling me it is a natural logarithm. So if the both of them are same, it's just whatever you want to use it. So I'm going with the log. I have done the double click on it. So it has come up here. Now you can see it has highlighted this X, right? So that means it is asking me log of which variable. If you see it in this window, they are showing us the variables. You can write a variable on it on your own also, but you can also select it from here. So I'm again doing the double click. I'm just removing the space here. There was a space, so I just click backspace. I click on OK, and it is showing me the expression. So what will be the log underscore price will be? It will be log of price, and I can also attach a value label to it. So for now, I'm leaving it for now, and I can just click OK. But you can see nothing has been shown here. It is not showing anything. There is no result in this result window. It is just showing the command. What is the command also? You can see it is generate int, because I have changed the variable as a numeric variable. Log, I have the name of the variable which you want to take equal to the expression. If you wanted to don't mention the type of variable, you could have missed out this int, and you could have simply written generate log underscore price is equal to this. The Stata would have taken the type of variable on its own. The change which can be seen is in the variables. You can see we have an additional variable now. It's the log underscore price. If you go to the data editor browse, again you can watch. There is a additional variable with some values in it. Right? So this is how, or this is what how you generate a new variable. Okay. Now let me show you the beautiful things of data, that is generating some graphs. So we'll go to this graphics. Let me start with a histogram. So we go to this histogram. Okay. You have to select the variable of which you have to make a histogram. So say I am selecting price here. I want to have a price, histogram of price, and you can select on y-axis whatever you want. You want a percent, frequency, fraction. So let me go with the frequency, and you just click on OK. Just wait for a few seconds. See how fast, how quickly it has given us the result. And this is the histogram. It is showing the price here. It is showing the frequency here. It is showing the histogram. You can beautify this graph. You just go on here. It's the start graph editor. You have different options. You can add the text. You can go to this more. You will get lot of, so you can actually explore it a lot. It is giving you some formats. You can change the text in, like you can change the size, you can change the color. You can also change the color of this graph. So you can explore it as much as you want, or you can just leave it if you like it this way itself. Okay. For now, I'm just closing it. You can do it on your own. It's quite easy. You can just see whatever things you want to change it. Now, the things how you can save this. One way is you click on this save. Now, but it is saving it is in the form of .gph, which you most like you people must not have listened of it, and it is not useful. It generally is not that much useful because it opens up only with data only. So obviously we don't want to save it in a format which only opens up with data. We can use, there are different options. You can save it in .png format, okay, and you can also save it in .pdf format. So if I click on this .pdf format, so say I am naming it as histogram and saving it. So first of all, it is showing you the command for it. So you can also have used the command to save this histogram. It's the same. You have to, what you have to do, you have to save the graph. So it's the graph, save graph, the path where you have to save it. That's it. Okay, so let me just open up. Okay, I think it has been saved in a different format, not in a PDF format. Just that's why it is not showing it. Now it will show it. It is in a PDF format now. Now you can see it is showing a PDF format. And when I open it, you can see it's the same graph. It's the as it is graph which you could have found it in Stata. So this is one format in which you can save it. Another format is you just click on here, click on copy, go to a Word document wherever you want to save it, click paste. Again, it is having the same look. Nothing is getting changed. Okay, and you can again save it from here as a picture, which will be in a JPG format. So you can see how many options Stata provides you, and you can have your graphs. You can save them in whatever way. You can change the colors. You can also change the axis thing. You can describe it in a more better way. So you have lot of things with the graphs which Stata provides. Okay, let me just make one or two more graphs. So let us just make it say, let us just go to pie chart. So we have a option we have a variable in which we are having some automobile manufacturers from foreign and some from domestic. So let us see how many people are from, how many manufacturers are from foreign and how many are from uh, domestic. So I'm selecting the variable as foreign. I don't want to have any other variable. So I'm just clicking OK. It is showing me the graph. So it is telling me more of the manufacturers, most of the manufacturers are from domestic and few of them are from the foreign. So you have different graphs. You can like explore them. You have bar chart, you have a dot chart, you have a box plot. You have more like advanced graphs also with the time series, the panel data. Then you have also quality control graphs, P chart, C chart, all these graphs. So in whatever way you want to present your data and whatever way you want to visualize your data, you just click on them and you will get it. If you want to use the command, then also it's very simple. If you have to make a pie chart, so you have to simply write graph pie over what variable you want to make a pie chart, so you have to mention that. If you have to mention a histogram, if you have to draw a histogram, so you just have a command of histogram. the variable of which you want a histogram, and comma what you need it on y-axis. So these are very basic things which you are saying. Basically, what when I have to ask you to draw a pie chart, I'll say this only: graph a pie chart, and that is actually the command. This is what our normal conversation is. Graph a pie chart, and you'll ask me over what? Over foreign, over the variable foreign. I'll also ask you histogram the price against frequency. So it is actually the exact thing that we say. It's just in a command form. So it becomes easier to remember these commands. We don't have to remember the proper coding as we have to do it for Python maybe. So we don't need to go into those details. Okay. After this, let us just go to yeah, first of all, let us just convert that string variable. We have two string variables. So there is a small command in which you can just convert it. Not going it with a menu driven for that, because it will be a very complicated thing. We have to go and select a lot of things. So it's a very easy command. You just write it as encode, ENCODE, and I want to encode manufacturer. Now there is one more feature of Stata. You just go to this menu variables, and if you want to write this variable name, it is coming a arrow here. You click on this, we are getting that variable. So we don't need to write the variable names again and again. Okay. So if I want to encode this manufacturer, that is, I want to give them some numbers. So you just have written encode whatever variable you want to change. And obviously I need to generate a new variable along with it. I will have to make a column. Now in that column, the exact manufacturer's name will get replaced. So that's why comma generate, and what name I want to give it to that new variable. Maybe I am writing it as make code, and I click OK. Whenever you put in the command of generating or encoding something, nothing will be shown in the result. Okay, similarly, let us just do it for the foreign also, and then I'll show you. So I can double click here. Sorry, I can click on here. It's a single click only, and I can change the things. I don't have to write the code or command again. I go it from here, click on foreign, and I make it as a foreign code. Now let me show you the data editor. It is already open up here. So you see it has given the two different variables, which is now blue color. So blue color implies the string variables which have been converted to the numeric variables. The actual variable value of this AMC Concord is 1. It is coming up here. SE for AMC Spirit is 3. So it is given it line wise. Similarly, for domestic is 1, and for foreign it must be giving 2. So these are the codes that Stata has provided them on their own. So now the Stata will run it. Stata will see to it, and Stata will have no issues working with this variables. Okay. Now let us do the regression. I'll just tell you about the basic regression. So once you get comfortable with these many basic things, then we can have another lecture on which we can talk more on the advanced regressions and advanced econometrics. Okay, so for regression also it's very easy. I actually generally go with the command because it's a very easy command, but you can go to the statistics. Okay, you can go to the, since we talked about linear regressions, we go with the linear regressions only. So that means it will be in the linear models and related. You select the linear regression here. You have to select the dependent variable. So say I want to regress price over different variables. I want to see the price of the manufacturer, that where what the like on what factors the price depends or how it depends. So in dependent variable, I select the price, and again in independent variables, I select different things. So I'm selecting weight, I'm selecting length, I'm selecting this repair, and then I'm selecting this mileage. So maybe these many things only. So I've selected this. So I'm doing the multiple regression basically. So I've selected all these. You click on OK, and you have got your entire table of regression. And if you have worked on other software, so you must be getting a similar table. What does it tells you? It tells you the number of observations. It tells you the F statistics. It tells you R square, adjusted R square. It also gives you the like explain sum of squares according to the ANOVA. If you have done like how much sum of squares has been explained by your model, how much sum of squares has been explained by your residual term. Basically, how good is your model, that is being told here. DF means degree of freedom. MS means mean sum of squares. Then these are the coefficients of all the variables. These are the coefficients of all these variables. The last is saying underscore cons. Underscore cons is actually the constant term. That is the beta naught that you write in your linear regression form. जो linear regression में you write it as yi is equal to beta naught plus beta 1 x1 plus beta 2 x2 plus beta 3 x3, something of this form. So that beta naught is this 11934.51, and that beta 1 x1, if x1 is MPG, then beta 1 is this, beta 2 is this. So I can see that length is negatively related with price, MPG is negatively related, rest of them are positively related. You also have the standard errors. So if you have to calculate manually your t values, calculated t values, so you have to use the standard errors to calculate it. It is also giving you the p values. Okay, you can see this. It is giving you the p values. So you can simply interpret it using the p values, whether your values or whether your results are significant or not. Just by saying whether it is greater than 0.05 or no. So you might be aware of how to depict, how to like analyze this using the p value. So you can analyze it, and it is also providing you the 95% confidence interval. Stata by default provides you the 95% confidence interval, but you can change it. How you can change it? Just write the same command again. You can see the command also. It's like regress, dependent variable, and then all the independent variables. Just giving up spaces, nothing. So it's a very easy command. You just put comma after it, write level, and in brackets I want a 99% confidence interval. So in brackets I'm writing 90. So you can see now it has changed it to 99% confidence interval. Earlier it was 95% confidence interval. Now it has changed to 99% confidence interval. Nothing else has changed. So it basically tells you the, like you can have different confidence intervals according to your requirements. Whatever confidence intervals you require, you can have that. We can also have a two-way scatter diagram along with it. Like what you can do is you can simply predict y hat, that is the estimated value of y. So you don't need to mention or write the value y, like the variable y. You can simply write it as predict y hat. So it will automatically predict it. So it has automatically predicted or estimated your price, okay, according to the regression line. You can also predict your residuals. So I have written predict u hat because residuals is u hat. So I have written u hat, comma, and I mentioned that this is the residuals. So I click OK. So obviously it will be shown in the data editor. It cannot show anything here. So we can see that it has made it. Oh yes, it has shown it. It has given us the values of y hat. It has given us the values of u hat. So whatever you need it for your regression, you can get it. You can draw it. You can find it. You can graph it. So these are the basic things. One more command I think I should tell you, it is related to two-way, which you should write it because it's a long command and it's like it again gets complicated if you go it from here because it needs lot of things. So it's better to go with the command itself. So the basically the command is this. You have to write two-way. Say I want to have the two-way scatter diagram also and the line diagram also. So I can have scatter. Then I need to say y. If I just say y instead of price, it will take it on its own. I can have any one of the variables. So I'm having length. Okay, then I also want a line along with it. So I write line. While having a line, I need to have y hat along with it. So that's why y hat. And again the length. Okay. Now you see this is the problem. How like bad diagram this is showing us. The reason why this is showing us like this is because our length is not sorted. Length is not sorted. That means if you go to the data editor and if you see the values of length, for some like here it is 186, 173, 168. Again it is increasing to 196. So it is not in a sorted form. It is sometimes increasing, sometimes decreasing. Data is just a software. It is not something having the knowledge. So what it has done is it has just plotted this, then it has extended this line to this, then this to this to this. That's why it's just a bad diagram. So what you can do is, first of all, you can sort your length. So write the command as SORT sort. length. Now again we'll go to the data browser, and if you see, it has sorted your length. You see now your length is line wise. It's the lowest length value and then it is increasing. And now you can use this command. So I've clicked on this command. So this is the benefit of this command video. I don't need to write it again. So I click on this command and click enter. See, now it is showing us a better diagram. It is showing us a proper two-way diagram. So these are the things, these are the small things that you need to take care of while doing this. There's an option, and you can also go with the t-test also. It is again a very simple command for it. You simply write t-test. Say I want to test the hypothesis that price is equal to say 4,000. So I am writing t-test price. Just ensure when you are writing t-test, so along with price you will have to have two equal to sign, because when data says whenever you are writing anything after if, then you have to put two equal signs. Okay, and here what I am doing, I am actually having a t-test hypothesis when the price is equal to 4,000. So I am having a if condition here. So that's why I will have to write a two equal to sign, otherwise it will not accept it. So it is giving you the entire t-test hypothesis. It is giving you the observations, mean, standard error. It is again giving you the 95% confidence interval, telling you the degrees of freedom and different alternative hypotheses. So it's the one-tailed alternative hypothesis. This is also one-tailed and this is a two-tailed. Similarly, you can change this if you want to have a 99% confidence interval within this command, write level in brackets 99 and click OK. So your confidence interval have changed. Okay, so this is the basics. These are the things that I wanted to tell you about Stata, and maybe we can have some advanced Ecotrix things in the next lecture. But before winding up with Stata, there is 2-3 things which might help you. Sometimes if you want to have something, so if supposedly you don't know how to regress, how to do the regression, you are not able to find a command, you are not able to do it using the mouse. So Stata again provides you something. What it can be, you simply write search, write regress, because you want to search, you want to see how to regress it, and you write, put a comma and then write manual. So what it will do is, whatever the Stata manual that I was telling you about, it is a complete Stata manual. In that manual, out of that manual, it will search the term regress and will give you the information. See, so it is telling you wherever it is finding this term regress. As you can see, it's the written keyword regress. So it will give you all the information. So then you can go to here, go and click on here. So these are different commands basically. And it is a long thing, because it's in the manual, in lot of places you can have the term regress. Okay, so you can see there's a two-way graph also they are telling. So it will tell you all the commands, it will tell you how to do it, everywhere it will tell. And it will, you will get to, you can see wherever, whatever you want to do it in regress, you can see and click on that and you will get the information. So Stata provides you a lot of help. You don't even have to go to Google to see anything. You can simply ask Stata what to do. If whenever any windows open up also, so if I'm opening up say summarize window, if you are not able to understand this summary statistics, you don't know how to do it, what to do it in this, so you can again go for the help. This is not showing the help option. Okay, yeah, here it is help option. Actually in Stata 14 it shows somewhere upwards. So I was searching it here. It is a help option. So when you click on this help option, it is explaining you everything in detail. It will tell you what does this summarize will do. It will tell you how to insert your command, how to do it. It will also tell you how you can do it manually. See, it is telling you the manual thing. It is also telling you the syntax or the command. Okay, so these are the good things about Stata, and this is how you can like do different things about Stata. Just before winding it up, I'll just show you how you can save these things. So what you can do is, I told you we can save the commands. Okay, so go to this do file editor, go on the top, maybe let us just close the law. If you forgot to close the law, if you forget to close the law, that There is no need to get scared. When you close down this data, close this data from here, log will get closed on its own. Okay, but it will automatically get closed. Otherwise, you can go to this log and you can do close. So you see, it's the command log close itself. You just write log close and it will get log close. So basically, your entire thing till here have been saved. Whatever now I'll do it here, it will not be recorded in my log. So you just click on this and press shift and the arrow button, down arrow button. So I've selected all of them. Okay, do control C, that is copied. I've already opened up the do file editor. Here, do control V, that is paste. So you have pasted all your commands, right? Then what you do is you just click on file or you just click on save from here. It will be saved as an extension .do, do file editor, and you can have it the name the same. Since it's the do file editor of the same project that we are talking about, so I am writing test try1 as it is and saving it. So it has been saved now. Okay. So let me just close it. This is how you can save this. Save these commands. If you want to save this result, if you want to use this table somewhere, what you can do is you just go on the top, do Control A. That will select this entire thing as it is. Then do Control C or just do copy. Okay. And go to your Word document and save it. Okay, again select everything because it is not showing it perfectly and decrease its size. Write it maybe 9. Then you can change the size on your own. So this was the table. This was the table. So it is showing you the table. Again, this was the table of summarization. This is the again. So this is how you can save your data. This is how you can have your data. This was the table of regression. You can also save a particular table. If you don't want to save it entirely, say I have got the result. I got this regression result. I want to save this. So I just select this. I just select copy table and I just move to here. Okay, and then you can just format it. You can just like have the column lines and everything on this table and everything else. So this is the way, this is the benefit of Stata. You can save everything you have done on Stata. Okay, and then this do file editor is the best thing I would say. So let me show you the use of this do file editor. Let me do clear. So everything will lose out. All the variables have been gone. What I can do is I can go to this open. It will not open it from here. I can go to this data editor. Do file editor, because it's a do file, so it will open up from the do file editor itself. Go to this open. It is showing me automatically the do file. Go to this data drive and select it and open. It is showing me the entire thing. And then what you can do is you can simply click execute. Okay, why it is not executing? Basically because I have been saving this. I have been using this logna and I have named it as data try1. So it is asking to do the same thing again. So you can change this command, otherwise it will not operate. So maybe I changed it to 2. Because according to the first command, it is asking us to make a log file or with the name data try1, which we have already made it. So it cannot overwrite it. So that's why it has given me the instruction that I will not able to open it because this already exists. So I changed it to data try2 and then you execute it. Okay. So again, it is not executing. Why? Because it is saying the log file is already open. If you just close down Stata and run it, so it will execute it. Now there is no problem. Otherwise, it would have shown the problem. So it will execute whatever we have done. Or maybe let me show you that only. So let me just open up Stata once again. It's just 2 minutes more. Go to the do file editor. I'll just open up this. Go to this, select this, I again change this. So say now I change it to 3 and now I execute it. Okay, actually it was open again in the different folder, but it will run it. The problem is I am again and again doing it. Actually, because it is already open, I am again doing it. So if you just remove this log, so it might just operate it then. So basically what happens is कि sometimes like if I have done some research and I'm doing it with someone else, so what I do is I just run all the commands and I give the do file editor to the other person and ask him to run the same commands on the data because he is also having the same data. See, when I removed the log thing because log thing was creating a problem, so it has generated everything. We generated a graph, so it has given us the graph. It has run all the things that we have done. So this is the basically this is how it is useful. So whatever analysis I have done, my research partner does not need to do the same analysis again. He can do it. He can take my do file editor and just put in all the commands and just do it again. And he can add on to that commands whatever he wants to do it in that. Okay, and similarly, the data set can also be saved. As you can go it from here, you can see this is the data set. We generated a new variable log price. So I can save this data set from here. It is asking me, do you want to overwrite the existing data? If you don't want to overwrite it, click on no. So I will have to do then save as. So we'll have to save it in a different form. So I'm writing this data new and then I'm saving it. So now it is saved. So whenever you'll open up the Stata, you can directly open up that Stata DTA, which will have this log. The way we open up the auto DTA, the same way it will be open up. Now it will have additional variable of log underscore price. So these are the things that we can do it. We can simply have this data as it is. Or if you want to cut it into Excel also, so what you need to do is you just click on this here. So entire data is selected. You just copy it and then copy back to the paste it to the Excel document. Okay. So this is all about Stata. I just want to end it by just a quote by a very famous person, which you all must be aware of, by Geoffrey Murray. He actually said that without big data analytics, companies are blind and deaf, wandering out onto the web like deer on a freeway. Like because nowadays also data analysis has become so important, and not even nowadays I think it's more in the news and people have like more aware of it, but data analysis is something which was coming or which was being done from the day business and companies have been started, because without data analysis nothing can be done. It needs to be done, everything needs to be analyzed. Every business has some kind of data available with them and they have to analyze it in one way or the other way. So data analysts are someone who will be required every time for every new company, for every new business. So we cannot run away from data analysis, and while doing data analysis, we cannot have the manual analysis done. So we need to have software, and sometimes some things are performed much better way in some particular software. So it's better if we have knowledge of each and every software so that we can say that yes, we know how to work on this software, irrespective of whether we have worked or not. But if we know the basics of it, then we can very easily handle any kind of software. So it's good if you start working on Stata. If you face any problems, so you are free to mail me. I will be very happy to clear all your doubts. But this is for sure, once you start working on Stata, once you get comfortable with Stata, I really feel that you would not like working on any other software, be it even Excel also. Like I also perform many operations which can be performed on Excel on Stata. And there are people, there are colleagues who say to me, why you do everything on Stata? Excel is so easy. But I find Stata very easy. Okay, I just have to write 2-3 words and everything will be done. I can simply write a simple generate log price is equal to log bracket price, and it will generate it. If I have to change the variable, I can select the same command again and just change the variable. But in Excel, I will have to again and again give the command, and I have to drag it to make ensure that it gets to all the columns. If there's a space in between any two rows, so again I have to like I have to do lot of things. So it's on like it's on you whether you like working on Stata or not. But it's a very easy software. You can explore it a lot. You can if you know the basics, I think that you will do anything on Stata without any help. You just need to spend some time on it. You just need to search little bit here and there within the Stata software itself, not on Google, and you will able to realize how to get whatever you want to do. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a nice session. We are really grateful that you took out time for this special lecture. Thank you so much for sharing this knowledge with all of us. And to all the participants, thank you for joining us. And if you have any doubt, you can just contact on our email ID or ma'am's email ID that is being shown to you. So thank you so much. Bye-bye.